Hi guys, this is Jacquie Whitt at Adios Adventure Travel. Today we're going to talk about how much time you should spend in Machu Picchu. So that question about how much time you can spend in Machu Picchu also depends on how much time you want to spend in Machu Picchu, as well as how much time perhaps you should spend in Machu Picchu. So Machu Picchu can be reached on foot on the Inca Trail, the 4-day Inca Trail, as well as the 1-day Inca Trail, and you can also go by train. So people who hike into Machu Picchu on foot on the Inca Trail will cross over the Sun Gate and will see Machu Picchu from above. And then it takes about 40 to 45 minutes to descend on foot into the national park. If you're on a 4-day hike, you'll immediately go to your guided tour of the ruins right after the hike and then take the train back to Cusco the same day. However, if you're on the 2-day trip to Machu Picchu, which includes the 1-day Inca Trail hike over the Sun Gate, then you'll circumvent the center of the city and go down to the village by bus. It's a 30-minute ride. You'll spend the night in a hotel, and then your permit allows you to go back up the next day with your guide for a guided tour. So it's an enjoyable 2-day trip where you have 1 day of hiking and the next day a guided tour of Machu Picchu. So you see it kind of from a distance when you're hiking in, and then you see it up close on the 2nd day. For people who are traveling by train, coming from Cusco or Ollantaytambo or the village, there's a couple of different scenarios that may affect how much time you can spend in the ruins. So most people know now that the new rules for the entry tickets are 1 ticket, 1 entry. That's it. Starting last July 2018, the ticket rules were changed. So now you're only allowed to enter 1 time. So that affects some of your logistics if you're coming from Cusco. So there's no point to kill yourself to get there early in the morning and stand in line with people who may be there the night before in the hotels. So if you're coming from Cusco, here's how long it takes you to get to Machu Picchu. So coming from Cusco, you can expect to take 2 hours by car from the city center to the Ollantaytambo train station. There is a smaller station in Poroy, but the service there is limited, not as many trains. So Ollantaytambo is the main train station, so it's 2 hours from Cusco by car. From the train station, it's another 1 hour, 45 minutes or 2 hours to get to Aguas Calientes. And then from there you can get in line to go up by bus to the main entry. So that's 30 minutes to ride the bus. The thing that people have to keep in mind when you do this is that you need a little transition between all these. It's not like you're instantly going from one to the other, so you have to add some time to arrive at the train station before your train departs. So you want to be there at least 30 minutes ahead of time. That's coming both ways. So once you get to Aguas Calientes, let's say you take the 7:45 train, then continue to Aguas Calientes. You'll get there by 9:30 a.m.-ish, and then you want to get in line for the bus, which is an unpredictable factor. The wait line for the bus is probably the most unpredictable part of everything, because the buses are like the shuttle at the Disney parking lot. They just go around and around and around all day. They don't have a scheduled time. So waiting in line for the bus depends on how many people are in line that day, which can be seasonal. In July and August, the lines can be 1 or 2 hours early in the morning. But later in the morning, it's likely to be less. So you could be up to Machu Picchu main entry by 10:30, and then you want to use the restroom before you go in, because there are no restrooms inside the park. There's 1 restroom at the main entry. So you may have to wait in line for that because everybody's got to use the restroom. So you'll stand in line perhaps to get in through the main entry, and then you'll begin your guided tour through the ruins, which can take anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours. It depends on your pace and how long you stop. There are some points of congestion where they have rangers who will move you along. So the circuits inside Machu Picchu are one way, so you can't kind of, go willy-nilly wherever you want. You follow the circuits. You can choose any circuit you like, and there's 3 different levels of challenge. So there's an easy, medium, and then the most difficult one, which goes up to the guard shack you see in the photos. So if you're done with Machu Picchu in 2.5 hours, then you wait in line again to go back down to the village, and then you go to the train station, and then you could take the afternoon train around 1600. There's a train at 1622, I believe, that gets into Ollantaytambo by 1800. And then the driver would get you back to your hotel at 2000, 8 p.m. local time. So there's your full day in Machu Picchu, starting at 5 a.m. From Cusco and ending roughly at 8 p.m. With the most enjoyable organization and sequence for all these transitions. And you might want to hang out in the village in Aguascalientes. It's up to you. There's no compelling activities or things to do. The hotels are very basic there. Most of them don't have televisions and entertainment because people are there to see Machu Picchu. So the question comes up, what if you want to spend more time in Machu Picchu, or should you spend more time in Machu Picchu? Is 2 to 3 hours enough time? And what I'd like to say is that even before they changed the entry tickets to 1 ticket, 1 person, most people just went through one time. There was always the option to go back twice, or 3 times if you wanted. You could spend the whole day up there and just go in and out all day on 1 ticket. That doesn't exist anymore, of course. You buy a morning ticket and an afternoon ticket so you can go back in. And that depends on you. Another option is to buy a ticket for entry to Machu Picchu, which includes one of the hikes. There are 2 hikes inside the ruins. One is Huayna Picchu, which you see in this little mountain here. That's the treacherous hike that is very popular, sells out way in advance, so you have to buy that ticket ahead of time. Montaña, which is another hike inside the ruins, it's kind of opposite this little mountain. It's longer, but it's more available than this one because it doesn't sell out. It's not as popular. If you buy a Machu Picchu entry ticket that includes one of these hikes, then you're allowed to re-enter Machu Picchu twice on the same day, keeping in mind that these hikes have a certain timeline, so you have to enter before the time for the hike. Should you buy another ticket? I can't tell you the answer to that. That's up to you. It also depends on your train. It's a long, long day to try to do it in 1 day. It can be done. To make it most enjoyable, why not just spread everything out and make sure there's plenty of time between your transitions. Leave your hotel at 5 and get back at 8 p.m. And use the morning ticket for entry to Machu Picchu and just enter before 10:30 a.m. So that works for people that are just doing the entry to Machu Picchu. If you're adding the hikes, that changes things a little bit. So just understand that there are some variations to the 1-day trip to Machu Picchu. Leave your comments below. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me at Adios Adventure Travel. Like that little button down below because we like you.